Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego, where tonight it's the 49ers and Chargers. Just had the opening toss. People are coming in from all different angles to watch this game. The 49ers have won the toss, and they will receive. Mike McCoy is the 49ers head coach, and on the other side, Jim Harbaugh, the 49ers head coach. He'll turn 60 in December. What a career he had at the University of San Diego. He's 29-6, and on the other sideline, of course, is our head coach, Mike McCoy. Mike McCoy came from Denver, where he's a successful offensive coordinator, working with Kyle Orton, Tim Tebow, and, of course, the great Peyton Manning. Asked McCoy before the game if he ever met Jim Harbaugh. He said, "Meet him? I was his last coach in the NFL." Harbaugh was just wrapping up his 14-year career in Carolina, where Mike McCoy was the quarterback coach at the time. So Nick Novak has it all teed up at the 35-yard line. Quinton Patton is deep for San Francisco. He's going to bring it out from 7 yards deep. Finds a lane out to the 20, across the 20. Good return for the rookie out of Louisiana Tech. 31 yards on the return. William Middleton on the stop for San Diego. And Colin Kaepernick will be the starting quarterback for the 49ers. And what a year he had last year after coming into the lineup in the 11th game versus the Chicago Bears on a Monday night. Just lit up the place. And his 10th career start was in the Super Bowl against the Baltimore Ravens. 1st and 10 for San Francisco. Kendall Hunter right up the middle, and he will get stuffed right at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a couple.
Strong play from the Chargers defensive line, Dan. Not a place to go. There's no holes in that line, not on that play. They were able to bring the running back down.
They'll give Hunter 1 yard on the carry. Now Kaepernick goes to the shotgun formation where he is so dangerous. Read option, he gives it to Hunter. Hunter has a better hold this time up the middle, across the 30-yard line. This is what the Chargers start tonight. Mostly backups. Logan Harrell at one end, Darius Wynn at the other. They flank Kwame Gathers in the middle. And at linebacker, Thomas Kaiser had a couple of sacks last week against Arizona. Philip Dillard, Andrew Gachkar. And in the secondary, Cromartie, Taylor, Cattouse, and Gatson. 3rd and short for San Francisco. Kendall Hunter is the back to the right of Kaepernick. He'll throw, looking left. He's got his man, and he's got a first down. That's his tight end, Vernon Davis. And Vernon Davis out across the 40-yard line. First down, San Francisco. Gain of 10.
Pretty easy throw and catch. Just running the tight end on an out route, 5 yards deep, and that's an easy first down.
Richard Marshall made the stop there, and we'll see Richard Marshall, newly acquired, 7-year veteran out of Fresno State. We'll see a lot of action tonight and in the regular season. 1st and 10, they put the ball right at the 40-yard line. It's Vance McDonald in motion, quick pass outside. Marlon Moore with a couple of moves across the 50. And give Moore 12 yards on that pass completion.
Really nice move made at the line of scrimmage, and Marcus Cromartie is still trying to figure out where he went. That's a very nice move, and he turned it into extra yards.
A whiff on the tackle. Ball now in San Diego territory at the 49-yard line. 49ers starting their first team, and here's a soft pass down the sidelines to Moore. Can't make the adjustment, and real good coverage that time by Marcus Cromartie.
So Kaepernick isn't perfect. There, it proves it right there. Some quick pressure coming up the middle, and Kaepernick just threw that ball just a little inaccurately.
Jarius Wynn providing the pressure. 2nd down, now and 10. Vance McDonald in motion. And that's Hunter. Left side. And he'll pick up 5 or 6. Greg Gatson and Sean Cattouse with the stop there, but it's not a good sign when your secondary is making every tackle.
No, not on a running play, Dan. I got to tell you, the San Francisco 49ers, I think you would agree with me, have one of the better offensive lines in the National Football League, and they're physical. They come off the ball, and they'll hit you in the mouth.
3rd down and 4. Big defensive play for San Diego, looking like they want to bring pressure. And they do. Quick pass out here. And that's Quinton Patton. Patton makes a couple of nice moves down the sideline. 30, 20 to go. He does. Touchdown, San Francisco.
I don't know that we need the dancing, but it was a heck of a play. Kaepernick to Quinton Patton. Nice move. Boy, and just positions the blockers perfectly, and he goes in untouched.
Yeah, Marcus Cromartie again with a missed tackle there, and then a good block on Jaleel Adai. That sprung Patton for the 43-yard touchdown. Phil Dawson, he adds the 7th point. 11:42 to go in the first quarter, and the 49ers come out with their starters, and it pays off big time. Here in San Diego, 49ers coming out with their starting lineup, and it paid off for them. 77-yard drive in just 7 plays. The big play, of course, the Quinton Patton 43-yard touchdown. That 7-yard pass turned into a whole bunch of yardage for the score for San Francisco. Phil Dawson has it teed up. Back deep for San Diego is Fozzie Whitaker. Fozzie standing 7 yards deep in his own end zone. This is going to be a short kickoff, and he'll come up all the way to the 6-yard line. And he finds a bit of a hole and gets it out to the 25-yard line. Good starting field position for the Charger cheerleader tonight. That's Phillip Rivers. And he'll be cheering on his fellow quarterbacks, Charlie Whitehurst, his good buddy, 8-year veteran with San Diego. This will be a challenge for the 49ers, or rather the Chargers going up against the 49ers starting defense. Ronnie Brown is the tailback behind Whitehurst. And Whitehurst has got a completion outside to his big tight end, Ladarius Green. That's the 9th catch of the season for Green. You see Ronnie Brown and Fozzie Whitaker in the backfield. Shea Tutu has shaken off his hip pointer. Keenan Allen at one wide receiver, and we saw Ladarius Green, but we also see a lot of John Phillips, Max Starks, Troutman, Molk, and Schilling, and Harris up front. Harris playing right tackle. He may play a little left tackle in the second half. They give Green a 3-yard gain, so it's going to be 2nd and 7. Whitehurst to throw. 3-step drop. His tight end again, and that's Ladarius Green. Came into the game as the Chargers' leading receiver. He has the biggest play from scrimmage this year, that 57-yarder against Arizona last week.
Like Ladarius Green, I know what kind of challenge it is to go against a 6'6" tight end that has a little speed, a little athleticism. He's getting the job done, Dan.
Ronnie Brown will be the tailback to the left of Whitehurst on this 3rd down and 2. Pressure on, and he stands in there, got his man all the way out across the 45-yard line and out of bounds. Shea Tutu. Boy, Whitehurst did a great job of standing in against that pressure.
Great job by Whitehurst, and the throw was fantastic, dragging Tutu across the middle. You see the missed tackles, and he gets the most that he can out of it. Basically lets the tight end run the coverage off and then comes underneath and makes the catch.
15 yards on the gain, almost out to midfield, put it at the 47 for San Diego. That's Phillips in motion. Fake to Brown. Whitehurst with time. And he's got his big tight end again on a crossing route, and out of bounds goes Green. 3 catches on this opening drive for Green. Trenton Robinson finally caught up to him, pushed him out of bounds.
Charlie does another nice job with the accuracy, and Ladarius just absolutely runs away from Craig Dahl. the safety that was trying to cover him, not getting it done.
21 yards on the gain. No huddle for San Diego. 5 wide receivers for Whitehurst. Another pass for Whitehurst and another completion. Spun down to the ground by Craig Dahl. Is Green one more time as Ladarius Green, 4 catches now, had 4 all regular season last season.
I think the quarterbacks, in particular Charlie Whitehurst, might be looking for Ladarius just a little bit more.
Well, he's caught 4 passes for 40 yards.
That's why you throw it to him.
John Phillips now lines up as a fullback with Ronnie Brown behind him. 1st and 10. Here's Brown's first carry. Breaks a tackle, line of scrimmage, and he struggles forward for a couple. First running play of the night for San Diego, and that'll net about 4 yards.
Glenn Dorsey had a nice shot to make a play in the backfield, the defensive end from the 49ers, and just totally whiffed.
Glenn Dorsey, who came over from Kansas City in free agency, the former #1 pick of the Chiefs out of LSU. Here's Green. We got a first flag of the night, and down goes Brown. And Scuda, number 51, with the stop. Mike Carey is our official, and he comes in and breaks up that little scuffle. Now he'll find out what the flag was all about.
A little early to start scuffling, isn't it?
Well, you know how important this game is to a lot of these guys, because the Cuts 22 or so players will not be here come Saturday night.
No, you're right.
On both sides.
Illegal formation on the offense. Number 13 covered up the receiver, making him ineligible. 5-yard penalty is still 2nd down.
LeRon McClain is heading to the locker room, and that's not good sight for Charger fans. The 7-year fullback out of Alabama. Again, it's going to be 5 wide receivers for Whitehurst on 2nd down and 11. Gets the ball just inside the 18-yard line. Whitehurst, good time to throw again to the end zone, and overthrown out of bounds, incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver, and really super coverage out there that time.
Look at Keenan Allen running his man off the line of scrimmage and then hoping that the ball is, just a little bit shorter thrown.
Now that's a Stanford guy, Michael Thomas, covering an old Cal guy, so they probably played against him just a little bit, huh?
Right.
Big 3rd down now for Whitehurst. Ronnie Brown, the tailback to the left. 3 wide receivers. Again, good time to throw, and over the middle and kick. Quite pull that one in. Ladarius Green with a great effort, but couldn't quite make it happen.
You want to talk about a tight end that can absolutely lay out to make a play for his quarterback. Take a look at Ladarius Green. I mean, he's inches away just from pulling that ball in and making that catch at the 1-yard line.
Whitehurst had to get that ball over the head of Michael Wilhoit. That caused the ball to be about 6 inches too high. 41-yard field goal try for Nick Novak. It is perfect. The Chargers answer the 49ers touchdown with a field goal. 7:39 to go, first quarter. 7-3 Niners. Qualcomm Stadium is the site. 9-play drive that time for Charlie Whitehurst and the Chargers. They covered 53 yards. The big player on that drive, of course, the tight end Ladarius Green had 4 catches for 40 yards on that drive. Whitehurst 5 out of 7 for 54 yards. But they couldn't quite make the connection, so they had to settle for the 41-yard Nick Novak field goal, and that's how we got to 7-3.
Any experience with tall, athletic tight ends during your playing days, Dan?
Well, there was a guy named Senior. That's what I call him now, Senior. Kellen Winslow, Senior. All you have to do is say he's a Hall of Famer. That says it all. Novak kicking real deep to Patton. This is 8 yards deep in the end zone. And Patton with a solid return out to the 29-yard line. Middleton with another stop for San Diego after a 38-yard return. Sky over Qualcomm Stadium. San Francisco on top, 7-3. New quarterback for San Francisco is Colt McCoy, formerly of the Cleveland Browns out of the University of Texas. 60% completion on the preseason, but 3 picks, no touchdowns for McCoy. Well, Michael James is his halfback, and they go right to the air again. Quentin Patton with another catch. Went out of bounds, and he's close to a first down. Looks like he's going to come up about a yard short. Marcus Cromartie getting a workout there at left corner tonight.
So is Quentin Patton. The guy has been busy all night.
Kaepernick finished his night, completing 3 of 4 for 64 yards and that 43-yard touchdown to Patton. Last time out. So it is 2nd down and 1. Patton in motion. Here's LaMichael James. And James hitting the backfield. And he's not going to get away. Frank Beltre had both paws on him. Wouldn't let the speedster from Oregon spin back to the inside.
Penetration always ruins any kind of long-lasting action in the backfield. Beltre was able to get through, penetrate the offensive line, make the tackle in the backfield. That's a nice job.
That's 13 tackles on the preseason now for Beltre as he gets a breather. McCoy in the shotgun, 3rd down and 7. They lost 6 on that play thanks to Beltre. McCoy over the middle. He's got his tight end McDonald. We've got a flag down at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be against San Francisco. Jaleel Adai with the tackle on McDonald, but this will be interesting to see. He came up just short of that first down.
Illegal formation. Offense only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. Penalty is declined, brings up 4th down.
So the penalties decline. That will bring up 4th down.
Dan, I want to make sure that people know we're sending best wishes out to Susie Spanos, the Chargers, the wife of Chargers president Dean Spanos. She's at home, recovering from surgery, and I don't know about you, but I can't remember the last time I was here where she wasn't here. She never misses a game. So, Susie, get well very, very soon.
Absolutely.
We miss you down here.
Yeah, Susie. Take notes on our broadcast. We need the feedback. Good luck. Hope you're feeling better. Andy Lee is back to punt for San Francisco. He's one of the best in the game. And this ball's going to come up short. Keenan Allen lets it bounce. Now he picks it up and goes straight down to the ground. Charlie Whitehurst and the Charger offense will get their 2nd possession when we come back. Here tonight, maybe?
Might be.
9 minutes gone here in the first quarter. A lot of action so far, and it's been a real good start for Whitehurst. And the offensive line protection for him has been stellar. They'll start this drive just past the 17-yard line. Now at the 18. Here's Ronnie Brown trying to find a hole. Bounces to the outside. Stiff on him, but he can't get away from a solid tackle by Craig Dahl. Well, quarterback Philip Rivers not playing tonight, but he talked to us a little bit about what Mike McCoy's message is to the team this year.
He makes it very clear what an unbelievable job we have, unbelievable opportunity that we all have, and that he wants to have a heck of a lot of fun, but obviously get our work done. So there's a great attention to detail. There's a good structure and discipline there, but yet guys are having a heck of a time on the field. The way we practice, the energy, the camaraderie, the talking back and forth. There's a great deal of that.
Whitehurst hit from behind. He fumbles it, but he's got the recovery. Skuta came around the side. He'll get credit for a sack and a forced fumble there.
And it was just a pure speed rush, Dan. Up the field, came around the corner, was able to knock the ball loose.
And right around Max Starks. Starks in a battle with King Dunlap. The battle has been won by Dunlap. Now he's in a battle with Mike Harris, who played impressively against the Cardinals at that left tackle position just last week. 3rd and 12 now. In motion goes Allen. Whitehurst. He's got his tight end again, Green, and Green's going to be Across the 25, but well short of the first down. Will Hoyt with the stop there. 5th catch, though, here in the first quarter for the second-year tight end from Louisiana Lafayette.
I think they call that a security blanket for some quarterbacks, yeah?
Well, he's such a big target, as you talked about, at 6'6". And just learning how to run routes. Mike Cyphers back to punt for San Diego, and the dangerous LaMichael James standing at his 33-yard line. High spiral. Backs up James all the way to the 21. Fakes going left now, straight up the field. It breaks one tackle. And then struggles forward, and they're going to give him a couple of extra yards with that effort. Across the 31-yard line. 54-yard punt, 9 yards on the return. Niners by 4. Players of this era with their misters on the sidelines. Game time temperature 86 degrees, 40% humidity, and there is not a breath of wind here at the Q.
I thought you were about to break out with "Back in my day." You're not gonna, come on, you're not gonna do that.
No, but I want one of those up here in the booth.
I do too.
Nothing wrong with that. Colt McCoy with his second series. They'll start at the 31-yard line. Kendall Hunter with the carry. And he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. There's Jim Harbaugh. I know we've talked about his tremendous career as a head coach for the Toreros, then went 4 years up at Stanford where he was 12-1 and Orange Bowl champs back in 2010. 14-year playing career. #1 pick of the Bears, played with the Colts, the Ravens, and of course he played 2 years here with the Chargers. And his quarterback, Colt McCoy, will drop the pass on second down. He's got his tight end over the middle. Another catch for a tight end for San Francisco. Garrett Selleck this time. DJ Smith on the stop.
Just really getting Colt McCoy comfortable. Just run the tight end into the middle of the defense. Throw the football, get a completion, get back in the huddle, let's move the ball.
Really a fine catch by Selleck. Brother Brent plays with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, that was supposed to be easier than that.
Anthony Dixon is the tailback, but right up the middle for San Francisco goes Jason Shepler, and Shepler will get the first down.
That was a massive humanity.
Well, Shepler's a massive humanity by himself. He's 6'2", 274, trying to make this ball club as a fullback for San Francisco. It's not 240, it's 274.
Big fullback. That's a fullback.
First down, San Francisco at the 43. James has got it. Goes left side, and he'll sneak out to the 45-yard line. Michael James in his second year. He was a second pick last year. Doak Walker winner out of the University of Oregon. Led the nation in 2011 with 150 yards per game on the ground. And Oregon's first two-time consensus All-American. They'll give him 2 yards on the game. 1.5 to go here in the first quarter. McCoy with a fake. Now pressured. Throwing down the sidelines to his tight end, Selleck. Selleck bobbles it, and that bobble will cost him a completion.
Brandon Moore had a great shot to get the quarterback, put him on his back. Colt McCoy doing a nice job finding time and getting the ball down the field. Trouble is, tight end couldn't come up with it.
McCoy communicating to his receivers. Kendall Hunter in the backfield on 3rd and 8. Pressure from San Diego. McCoy gets away. Now he's going to run, breaks the tackle, dives out to the 49-yard line. But that's going to be short of the first down. Sean Katuskis got enough for the quarterback to bring up this 4th down. Andy Lee in deep punt formation, and he'll be kicking it to Keenan Allen, who had that 45-yard punt return last week. This time he's going to signal for the fair catch, and he'll make it at the 16-yard line. Time now for tonight's lightning fast facts, brought to you by Cox Communications. 27th consecutive meeting in the preseason between the 49ers and Chargers, starting my last year in 1987.
Oh my goodness. Wow, I remember 87.
Yeah, those were the leather helmet days, weren't they? You were wearing one, I know that.
Sometimes I didn't even bring it.
You borrowed it from your daddy.
Exactly right.
Billy Ray Sr., the great defensive tackle for the Baltimore Colts. Just 35 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Chargers backed up, poor field position to start their third drive. Ozzie Whitaker now is the tailback for Whitehurst. Pressure from San Francisco. Whitehurst, quick throw to the outside, and he's got a completion. Robert Meacham goes down to a knee to make the grab. There is great competition in the backup wide receivers for San Diego. We will not see Vincent Brown tonight. We will see Meacham. We've seen Ajura Tutu already. Keenan Allen will get a lot of action as well, and it appears that Ladarius Green is going to be the primary receiver tonight for San Diego quarterbacks.
And I think that if you're looking for a difference, it just seems like the Chargers are moving at a faster tempo than what we've seen them move before.
Well, the first quarter's in the books. San Francisco 7, San Diego 3. We'll be back with more action. Fourth game of the preseason. A lot of youngsters trying to make a football team. Start of the second quarter here at Qualcomm Stadium. Phillip Rivers, who a lot of conversation about him needing to be fixed, and that has really got under his skin a little bit. The only thing he really needs is better pass protection. That's what all of us quarterbacks could use.
Offensive line, and I'll show you.
And it has been better in the preseason, but not now as Whitehurst gets drilled. Mike Harris gets beat right off the start. Corey Lemonnier with the sack that time, number 96.
Pure speed. And you know speed kills. I mean, that's exactly what happened on this play. 96 is up the field and on your quarterback before you could get out of your stance.
Yeah, he really got a great jump. He was real close to being offsides. The rookie out of Auburn, Corey Lemonnier. His first sack as an NFL player. It's a third down and 11. Whitehurst with a nice catch of the snap. He's going to roll out, and he's going to run. Trying to make the move and trying to get out of bounds at the same time. And he comes up short of the first down. Michael Thomas with the play on the outside as Whitehurst couldn't quite get around the defensive back.
Yeah, it looked like Charlie was kind of cruising for a while, but then he saw the defensive back turn, see him, and start to approach. That's when he get out of bounds.
Chad Hall is back deep for this Cyphers punt. And he comes running up for the short punt, tells everybody to get away. The ball backs up, and the Chargers let it back up. Now they down it at the 44-yard line. Jarrell Harris downing that 32-yard punt. No return. .56 to go in the first half. San Francisco 7, San Diego 3, and Colt McCoy will get another shot at running this 49er offense. You know what Colt McCoy's first name is?
Colt?
Daniel.
Oh, I got you.
Got to get into the press guide,
I thought it was a trick question, Dan.
Me? Give you a trick
you
question?
You said, what is Colt McCoy's first name?
Well, of course, Colt has got to be a nickname, don't you think? Being from Texas and all. First and 10 at the 43-yard line for Daniel Colt McCoy. San Diego bringing the blitz right up the middle, and they're going to get McCoy on the run to the outside. Heck of a job by McCoy getting away from a couple of Chargers. Turek Williams finally made the stop. Logan Harrell was in on him immediately.
It also seemed like Frank Beltre was, in this chase for the duration. And I'm not sure if he's going to get credit for any of it. There's Logan Farrell. Here comes Beltre. Boom. All right.
They'll give him 5 yards on that scramble for McCoy. Marcus Cooper, the tailback. McCoy with a quick pass to the outside. That is Lavelle Hawkins from the University of California. We're seeing a couple of double numbers out here this evening. Of course, number 4 is also the 49er punter, Andy Lee. It's not a good sign when you are assigned the same number as an All-Pro.
Right, that you know is going to be here when they make the final cuts.
4 yards on the reception. Actually, they're going to give him enough for the first down. Give him 5 yards. And into San Diego territory. Anthony Dixon always seems to be a big workhorse for San Francisco in the preseason. Averaging 3.5 yards on the preseason. Been in the end zone 1 time. And has also caught 6 passes. He's a real special teams ace for San Francisco, and that's something a couple of these guys are looking for tonight, is making an impression on the special teams.
I would also think that it would be really attractive to some running backs to be running behind the fullbacks that they have in San Francisco. Boy, these guys are huge.
This is Jewel Hampton. Right side, huge hole. All the way inside the 35-yard line.
First down, San Francisco.
A little bit of a back on a backer. Opens up the hole, and Jewel is off to the races.
It's Dixon on Beltray, and that was no contest. 11 yards for Jewel Hampton. There's Dixon on the right side. He's going to get a couple. You talked about those fullbacks. The 49ers also will use a defensive lineman at times at fullback. Will Tukuafu from the University of Oregon. He's 6'4", 293 in short yardage. They'll put him in to lead the way for Frank Gore. Frank Gore obviously not playing tonight. The 49ers' #1 career rusher. Beat the Joe the Jet Perry's record. 8,800 yards for Frank Gore. And that's McDonald shifting. Hampton is the tailback. In motion is Chad Hall. Fake to Hampton. McCoy. Pressure from Harrell. Harrell dives and McCoy goes out of bounds. Great effort again by Logan Harrell, putting pressure and forcing McCoy out of the pocket.
And credit to McCoy just to have the speed. I mean, he should be down. This should be a sack. Colt McCoy turns on the jets, gets out of bounds, stops the clock.
Harrell did a nice job of ensuring that Chad Hall was not going to block him, because Chad Hall is 5'8", 187 pounds. Smart kid out of the Air Force Academy. 3rd and 8. McCoy again forced out of the pocket. And nobody to throw it to either. And he pays the price. DJ Smith, one of the many Chargers in on the play.
You can also throw in Thomas Kaiser. You remember Thomas's week last week. Boy, he was all over the place. Ended up with a couple of sacks and gets a piece of this one, I believe.
The 2 as well. It's going to be a Phil Dawson field goal attempt from 47 yards. And he is perfect. 47-yard field goal for the 15-year veteran, Phil Dawson, and the Niners score again. 47-yard Dawson field goal. San Diego defense came up strong on that possession. It's just a 28-yard drive. It took him 8 plays. Great pass pressure on Colt McCoy, especially from Logan Harrell. Dawson, who played 14 years with Cleveland. First year replacing David Akers here for the 49ers. Fozzie Whitaker is about 6 yards deep in the Charger end zone. And he will be forced to go out of the end zone to make that catch. So they bring the ball out to the 20-yard line, where Charlie Whitehurst will get another possession. Remember, we'll see Brad Sorensen throughout the second half.
Looking forward to that.
20-yard line.
.10:08 to go, first half, and Charlie Whitehurst and the Chargers come up to the 20-yard line. And he emptied the backfield as Whitaker goes in the slot to the left side. Quick pass to his tight end, Ladarius Green, and that has worked all night long. And we're happy to be joined now in our broadcast booth by the general manager of the San Diego Chargers, Tom Telesco. Tom, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You know, with the cuts coming and everything, I know you're watching intently. Can you give us an idea of what positions you're really focusing on?
You know, it comes down to really 3 or 4 positions in this last cut down. We've had 5 weeks of work, so we start to know these guys real well. In the 4th preseason game, there's still a couple of jobs up for grabs, and we'll watch them tonight. And we have a lot of hard decisions to make Friday and Saturday.
Well, a lot of teams do, and the waiver wire will be full of some players that maybe might make their way here.
Yeah, that's part of the business. I mean, we like what we have on the team right now, but part of this business is knowing what's out there and knowing the league. So we got a lot of work to do coming out.
Tom, anything in particular that you're looking for right now? I mean,
well,
yeah, I got you.
We know where we are. We like some more depth, obviously, on both sides of the ball. That's just where we are as a football team right now. So that's what we're working on. But we also have a lot of young guys here, too. They're going to get some good looks tonight.
You know, I think picking up a guy like Ajira Tutu, as you did because of injuries, was a brilliant move because he's so familiar with his personnel and his teammate and his quarterbacks.
Well, I'll tell you what, he has size and he's very, very smart, and he's been able to jump in right away and get into the offense. It's a new offense for him from what we've had before, but he's moved in nicely.
And he made that 10-yard catch. Whitehurst now dragged down from behind. 3rd sack of the first half. So, Tom, this is your first experience as a general manager. Tell us what has surprised you about the job itself.
I said this the other day. I don't like surprises, so we try and stay prepared and have a plan for everything. Now, we haven't played a real game yet, but you know, there's a lot of time that goes into it. But it's been we're trying to stay ahead of the curve right now, but we haven't played a game yet, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, you're going to play a game in a big hurry against the Texans on a Monday night, and you're going to crank up this crowd, all white. Is that right?
Yes.
And that ball is intercepted. Will Hoyt with the ball, and he takes it down to the 11-yard line. That's not what we had in mind, is it, Tom?
No, it is not. No, it is not. But we're looking forward to opening day, and we know Houston is an excellent football team, and you know we'll see where we are at that day.
Well, and the promotion to get all the fans to make this a whiteout stadium. Great idea.
Yeah, it is, and we got great crowds at training camp, and we're really happy with that. And we're going to need a home field advantage here. And a lot of that's on us to play good football, and we need to get the crowd noise going. I've been here as a visitor. I know how loud it can get, and we're going to need them all against Houston.
Well, best of luck to you, and we'll let you get back to work, Tom.
Thanks, Dan.
Good luck this year.
Thanks, Billy.
Yes, sir.
So McCoy and the 49ers take over at the 11-yard line. And McCoy, under pressure, gets away from Beltre. Rolling, throwing to the end zone, and knocked away at the last instant.
Oh, damn.
Greg Gatson with a layout on that ball.
Frank Beltre is not going to sleep well tonight. He just had a clean shot at the quarterback and missed it. Had an opportunity to take the quarterback down and didn't come up with it.
Josh Johnson had a shot at the deflection. Great play by Gatson. 2nd and 10, 49ers. Hampton gets hit in the backfield and then gets stopped as he reaches the 10-yard line. Flag down. Our referee Mike Carey threw that flag.
Illegal hands to the face. Defense number 95. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Automatic first down for San Francisco after the penalty. This is what we were talking about, BR, the whiteout. Hot Monday night.
What do you think?
I'll be here covering the game for Westwood One Radio. I can't wait to see this place in all white. Chargers, of course, will wear their white uniforms. Now they got bigger things on their mind, trying to stop San Francisco from getting another touchdown. There's Hampton hit the line of scrimmage. Jewel Hampton, 5'9", 210 out of Southern Illinois. Gatskar with the stop.
And it was a sudden stop. That was a nice stick by Gatskar.
You start filling in for Jonas Mooten, who's on injured reserve. He's really athletic, good special teams player. And he's in a battle for one of those inside linebacker spots. Second and goal. Chad Hall in motion. Fake to Hampton. Pass to Dixon. Dixon to the end zone, to the goal line. Touchdown, San Francisco.
DJ Smith had an opportunity to bring the ball carrier down and just missed it.
Well, Dixon is a sizable back, 233 pounds. He knows where that goal line is. He goes low on Cattouse and gets across the line for the 6 points. Dixon's second touchdown of the preseason, one rushing now, one receiving. And Phil Dawson will attempt the 17th point for the Niners. And he's perfect. 7:20 to go, first half. 49ers 17, Chargers 3. Back at Qualcomm Stadium, Niners dominating this first half, 17-3. Anthony Dixon with a 5-yard touchdown catch from Colt McCoy. I always wondered why the kickers try to...
Why? Quarterback should do that too.
Always squeezing the ball or making it... Is it try to make it softer for their foot?
Yeah.
He's been doing it for 14 years. There's Dawson.
There's got to be something to it.
There's Whitaker, and he will be downing that ball 9 yards deep in the end zone. Chargers take over at the 20 when we come back. Charlie Whitehurst under pressure the last couple of times out. Sacked 3 times, and he was hit low on that last pass attempt. That caused the ball to sail high, and that's where it was picked off by the 49ers. 8 of 11 so far, 80 yards for Whitehurst. He does throw that one interception. You can see the 77 net yards because of the 3 sacks. Here's Whitaker, and Whitaker across the 25-yard line. Big collision there. You got to hand it to Fozzie Whitaker. 5'10", 200-pounder.
Nice vision, though. Very, very nice. Finding the hole, even though it didn't seem like there was going to be one. Fozzie got up in there and made some yards in it.
And BR, as it was in the first 2 preseason games, the field position for the Chargers has been a real struggle. Their average start tonight is their own 25-yard line. San Francisco, on the other hand, has an average start on their own 43. The last couple of times, excellent field position. Jere Tutu in motion. 2nd and 3. There's Whitaker, and Whitaker finds a hole right side, big hole. He busts out across the 35-yard line. He's got some spring in his step after that 10-yard gain.
There's no question about it. And if Dahl isn't there, I think we're still seeing Fozzie celebrating in the end zone. Craig Dahl just saved the play.
And you know, with a name like Fozzie, he's got to have a good touchdown celebration, doesn't he?
He's got to be good. We've got to get him in the end zone.
Let's give Fozzie the ball one more time, and again, it's up the middle. He's hit by Nate Stupar, first-year player out of Penn State, a linebacker out of Penn State. Whitaker gets 4 on the blast up the middle.
The majority of that blast, by the way, came from that offensive line. Did a nice job blowing a hole in that defense.
He has been the workhorse for San Diego in the preseason. Came
really
in with
has.
19 rushes for 96 yards. He's adding to that nicely this evening. Left side this time, and Whitaker's out close to a first down, and it's going to come up about a yard short. Cam Johnson with the stop. The Chargers going to the run, establishing that line of scrimmage lately.
Right up the middle. Counter dive. Quarterback spins out, gives it to the back. Fozzy's doing a great job finding the hole and making the yards.
3rd and 1. No fullback for San Diego. Remember, McLean went into the locker room earlier in the game, and Gronkowski is no longer here. Fumbled by Whitehurst. He still gets the ball to Whitaker, and Whitaker gets real close to the first down. Good reaction by the quarterback, Charlie Whitehurst, to get the ball to his running back.
Fascinating that you would say that. I was thinking the exact same thing, but it seems like, I mean, this is not what quarterbacks are supposed to do, drop the football, but he had the presence of mind. Scoop down, pick up the ball, get it to the running back, and did a heck of a job doing it.
They're going to bring out the chains. You know, presence of mind or panic. I'm not sure which it was.
I'm sorry. I think you're right. It might be panic.
Well, from past experiences, I know that was always my reaction. I loved it when the announcer said, "Oh, great presence of mind there."
Did you see that presence of mind on Dan Fouts? Fantastic.
Oh, this isn't going to make the fans very happy in the preseason. Inches shy of a first down, and the punt team is out. Well, they want to work on special teams because that is where some of these guys will make the team, how well they run under kicks and make tackles. And I know this crowd would love to see an attempt on 4th down for San Diego. And Spencer, the Charger special teams guru, maybe he's going to call a fake.
He was a guru last week. Let's see how he does this week.
Chad Hall deep for San Francisco, waves for a fair catch, lets the ball go, and it's down inside the 5-yard line.
Genius. Unbelievable. Kevin Spencer, please.
Yeah, the copyright in this broadcast is owned by the NFL on behalf of its member clubs, including the San Diego Chargers. All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast with the express written consent of the NFL is prohibited. That would be without express written consent. That would make it prohibited. Well, we were talking about great field position for San Francisco, not this time. Hampton gets the ball. He's drilled right away.
Is that Beltre?
That's Jalil Adai with the stop that time. Adai, who went to the locker room in the first quarter for some type of problem, lays his shoulder right into Hampton and drops him at the 1-yard line.
And actually gets pushed into him by Chad Hall. Hey, listen, if you're going to push you into the play, go ahead, take it. Oh.
Here's Hampton trying to bounce to the outside. Great team pursuit by the Chargers. Chargers taking advantage of this negative field position for San Francisco. DJ Smith, one of the pursuers on that play.
Just keeps bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. Otherwise, he gets caught in the end zone. And the Chargers finally catch up, bring him down to about the 3.
3rd and 10 from the 3.
We'll see the type of pressure John Pagano, defensive coordinator, brings this time on Colt McCoy. Hampton and Dixon in the backfield. Here's Dixon. And Dixon will just get a couple. Great defensive series for San Diego. Started off with a big hit by Jalil Adai. And Dixon didn't have a chance on that carry.
And it was Gatchkar again, makes a nice play. And the 49ers are giving the ball back to the Chargers.
And the Chargers have called timeout. Take a look at this last play, BR.
That's just good defense.
Well, a poor offense. Nobody was blocking the linebacker on a dive play. I hate to tell you, I would give my My guys, hey, what happened, boys?
It's good defense, Dan.
I know that Anthony Dixon's wondering.
Can I have a word with the linebackers?
There's that attractive home schedule for the Chargers. Texans, Cowboys, Colts, Bengals, Giants, and of course, Raiders, Broncos, and Chiefs. Andy Lee out of the back of the end zone. Luke Tasker standing at his 45-yard line. And almost blocked. Low line drive, return ball for Tasker. Trying to find the lane, and he gets across the 35-yard line. Good pressure on the punter to force that low punt. And a good return by Luke Tasker, son of the great Buffalo special teamer, Steve Tasker. There's a 47-yard punt. Looked like Keenan Allen almost got to Andy Lee. 16 yards on the return for Tasker.
15 on the return.
They heard you talking about field position, Dan.
Well, they did,
They turned it all around.
Now this is a great opportunity now for the Charger offense to get some more points on the board. Short field to work with. 2 timeouts, 2:29 to go first half. And Whitaker takes the ball inside the 30-yard line. Parrish Cox with the stop. Chargers in no hurry to get another playoff before the 2-minute warning. You might think they would go up tempo here to save time off the clock. But working with second and third teamers, probably not a good idea. So Whitehurst will let the clock run down to the 2-minute warning. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for San Diego at the 29-yard line of the 49ers when we come back. 2 minutes to go first half. Back for the final 2 minutes of the first half. Chargers threatening now. 2nd down and 5 at the 49er 29-yard line. Charlie Whitehurst working with a new center now, which Orenberger has taken over for David Moak. Nick Hardwick, along with a starting offensive line, not playing tonight. There have been a few bobbled snaps between Orenberger and Whitehurst. Fozzie Whitaker in the backfield with Whitehurst. Whitehurst under pressure, and that's going to be the 4th sack. Time it's Cam Johnson. And it just seems like as if Whitehurst, if he doesn't get rid of the ball in 3 seconds, or even less than 3 seconds, he just doesn't have time.
Yeah, I totally agree, Dan. The ball's got to be out of his hands in 3 seconds. The 49ers are coming up the field. They're putting supreme pressure on that quarterback.
I'd be looking for number 89, Ladarius Green, if I were Whitehurst. And he throws underneath. That's Meacham. Meacham with a good move to the outside, but not good enough to get away from Parrish Cox. And now decision time for Mike McCoy. Does he want to go for it on 4th down? And it appears he does. And now the 49ers have called timeout. This will give San Diego a chance to
think about it.
Think about going for it on 4th down
right.
here. And again, preseason, why not? I would like to see him go for it. Was 4th and inches moments ago. But that's the 49ers' first timeout. And here comes the field goal team on the field for San Diego as Nick Novak and Mike Cyphers, his holder, make their way out. Line of scrimmage at 30-yard line. Back it up 8 yards. That'll make it a 48-yard field goal for Novak. He's 3 of 4 on the preseason. Made from 28, missed from 51. Last week made from 50. This one from 48 looks good, and it is. Nick Novak continues his impressive preseason. And the Chargers, off that good field position, can only manage 3 points. But 3 points nonetheless, BR.
When you're put in position to take some points, put them up on that board, you got to do it. Nick Novak nailed it.
Yeah, this is what we're shooting for, the home opener against the Houston Texans. And, of course, Mission Bay High School great Arian Foster will come to San Diego. And don't you think he'll have a bunch of people rooting for him against the Chargers. In fact, there are a lot of people here tonight that are rooting for the 49ers. There's a lot of red here. The 49er fans traveling down here almost like they were San Francisco Giant fans at Petco.
And it might be that, I know it's unthinkable, but maybe they live here. I don't know. And you can be a 49er fan and live here. Charger fans living in San Francisco.
Now, 49er fans, when you win, you do travel. And the 49ers, tremendous last couple of seasons under Jim Harbaugh.
No doubt.
Came real close to winning the Super Bowl on a pass play that was either illegal contact, holding, or pass interference. It wasn't called by the officials, and the Baltimore Ravens prevailed. This is Lavelle Hawkins. And Hawkins brings it out from 8 yards deep. And he dances his way across the 20-yard line. Fine return for Lavelle Hawkins. He had a 105-yard kickoff return for a touchdown last week against the Minnesota Vikings. That time he takes it out 33 yards before William Middleton makes his third special teams tackle of the evening.
The trouble with the returner, he made too many moves and let William catch up to him. He would have been a little bit further down the field. Made a couple of moves, and William Middleton, he wasn't going to give up.
So Colt McCoy will have 2 timeouts to work with. 76 yards to go to the end zone. They'll be thinking about getting Dawson in field goal range. Jewel Hampton will get this draw play, trying to make it to the right side. Good cut there, breaking tackles. First down and out of bounds. Heck of a play by Jewel Hampton.
And a missed opportunity from the Chargers. They had an opportunity to bring down the running back at the line of scrimmage and just missed their shot. There it is right there. A guy came out, bumped the defensive end, and they missed their chance.
Give Hampton 14 yards. And most importantly, he got out of bounds to save those 2 timeouts. McCoy, that's Austin Collie on the outside, and Collie's got a first down for San Francisco.
And about 5 San Diego defensive backs on his back.
Yeah, Austin Collie, who came back from a knee injury, had surgery last year, 4 years with the Indianapolis Colts. He's been out 10 months. It's got to make him feel good because he's battling for a spot. It's his 5th catch of the preseason, good for 12 yards.
And Colt McCoy just throws a dart. And that's incredibly accurate. And it takes 3-4 Chargers to get him down.
Yeah, another 10 yards or so, and Dawson will be in field goal range. 49ers have called their second timeout. Dawson, who has kicked 7 of 8 field goals this preseason, 3 of them from over 50 yards. McCoy down the sideline, and it's incomplete. Looked like the ball hit Collie in the hands. Couldn't quite come up with it. Marcus Cromartie there with the coverage. He's got to feel like he's getting picked on just a touch, don't you?
Yeah, you think? I don't really know that there's anything you can do if they're picking on you, though, Dan.
Well, he has great coverage this time on Collie. Did not buy that fake. Gets away with the illegal contact down the field. And perhaps a little arm bar there as well. Veteran moves by Marcus Cromartie, the rookie out of Wisconsin. Second down and 10 for McCoy. Pressure, rolling out again. Deep down the sidelines and out of bounds. Cromartie with the coverage. Gachkar with the pressure. Kasim Osgood was the intended receiver.
Here's Cromartie in coverage.
Logan Harrell, pressure on the quarterback.
Doing a nice job.
That's why Osgood is a special teams maven and not a wide receiver.
That's exactly right.
That was a stop and go route. He had the stop part of it, but the go never happened. 29 seconds to go. Ball squarely on the 50. 3rd and 10 for McCoy. And he throws low and incomplete to Chad Hall.
Intended for Chad Hall.
So good pressure by the Chargers pass rush that series. And that will deny the 49ers any opportunity at points.
Andy Lee complementing Jim
Cornelius Brown as well, putting the finishing touches on that last play.
Receive for the Chargers.
Another punt for Andy Lee and another opportunity for Luke Tasker. Tasker standing at his 10-yard line. And this one's going to go over his head across the goal line out of the back of the end zone for Andy Lee. So he'll take that 50-yard. That will net him 30 yards. And the Chargers with 2 timeouts, but only 16 seconds to go here in the first half. We'll see Brad Sorensen to start the second half. That's according to head coach Mike McCoy. Sorensen, who's been impressive so far in the preseason.
He's one of those big quarterbacks. He's 6'5", 230. Can absolutely wing that ball.
And he'll be hoping for better pass protection than Charlie Whitehurst has gotten. 4 sacks in the first half as Whitaker will keep the ball on the ground, and that will do it for the first half.
Stopped by Cam Johnson.
Preseason game number 4 of the 2013 preseason dress rehearsal with the real deal coming up a week from Monday night. The Chargers and the 49ers. Chargers trailing 17-6. We'll be back with halftime right after this. The ceremony at halftime, and we're just waiting for the power to come back. Remember, September 9th, that's a Monday night here at the Q. The Houston Texans, one of the favorites in the AFC this season, come to town. Tony Romo will be here. How about watching Andrew Luck, the rookie sensation last year for the Colts, who's 4,300 yards, an NFL rookie record. And he's just only going to be followed by one of the greatest of all time,
Right.
Peyton Manning.
It's fantastic. Cincinnati Bengals come in with Andy Dalton.
And Eli Manning will make a trip out here to San Diego. Remember, he and Phillip Rivers, one of the most famous draft day trades of all time. Manning refusing to play for the Chargers, forced to trade, and the Chargers happy to get Phillip Rivers in exchange. Of course, the Raiders and Chiefs round out a very attractive home schedule for San Diego. There you can see it. We can almost count the lights one at a time as they come on. Yeah, there's one guy that knows all about pressure, and that is quarterback Phillip Rivers. He had this to say about the pressure to win now.
I do sense a little bit of impatience, which is normal, right? I mean, everybody wants to win. We're getting impatient too. So, but I think it's all in good spirit. They want to win. We want to win. But our fans are awesome. When they're going good in Qualcomm, it's a heck of a place to play.
You can see the problem that Rivers had last year, second most sacks in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers had 51, but 8 of those came against the Seahawks in the first half of that Monday night game when the Seahawks converted that Hail Mary pass to win the game on a Monday night.
And we've seen the efforts that the Chargers have gone to provide Phillip with better protection. And I think up to this point, it's beginning to take effect.
Well, they've been sacked 3 times in the preseason, but 3 of those sacks came against the Chicago Bears when the Chargers were still figuring out the different combinations on that offensive line. Mike McCoy, a former quarterback, played at Utah. He knows the importance of protecting the quarterback. Well, the lights are almost back to full strength. Our referee is Mike Carey. He has given the ball to his fellow official, who's meandering his way to the wrong side of the field now. See Phil Dawson wondering why this official is going to the 49ers sideline. That's our back judge, Kirk Dornan. And he just went over to tell Jim Harbaugh that lights are good enough. Let's get this baby underway.
We've got the generator going, Coach. Get those lights to full speed soon.
Fozzie Whitaker, he can see the ball. He's 7 yards deep in the Charger end zone as Phil Dawson tees it up to start the second half. 17-6 is our score. We're going to see new quarterback for San Diego. And Dawson sends it skyward. And deep. Whitaker on the run at the 1 yard line. 15, Whitaker out across the 20. And almost out to the 25 yard line. Good catch on the run by Fozzie. 23 yards on the return. Marcus Cooper made the stop. And here is Brad Sorensen.
Big bad Brad.
7th round pick out of Southern Utah. He's completed 63% of his passes on the preseason, 2 for touchdowns, and has not been intercepted yet.
Goes at 6'5", 230 pounds. Big quarterback, tall quarterback, can see the field and hopefully deliver the ball to the wide receivers.
David Moak back at center for San Diego. That's a good way to start. Handing the ball off to Whitaker, and Whitaker gets about 10. And more than 10, enough for the first down. Craig Dahl finally brings down Whitaker.
First down, Chargers.
Nice job bringing in Nick Betkin across the formation, leading into the hole.
On the stop, 8 of 11 to the 35.
Ah, that's a nice play.
11 yards for Whitaker. Sorensen to Whitaker again, and this time we won't get much.
Fozzie Whitaker. Jason Jumper.
Whitaker now 51 yards on 9 carries. That'll work every time.
8 of 1, second and 9.
Sorensen looking over the defense at 6'4". Easy to do. And he'll attempt his first pass. And that's a fine catch. Under pressure, Robert Meacham with the defensive back, Parrish Cox, all over his back. Fine throw again by Sorensen.
And I love the throwing motion. Sorensen brings the ball up and just fires. It's compact, and the ball is out of his hands really fast.
He holds the ball high as he goes back to pass so that there's no wasted motion in that delivery. Third and 5 for Sorensen in the shotgun. 49ers rush 4. And there's a completion again to Meacham, and Meacham's got a first down across the 45-yard line.
First down,
We have a little Sorensen-Meacham connection going on.
And Meacham a little shaken up.
with the tackle.
Nick Moody with the big hit there. Moody, the 6th round pick out of Florida State. Meacham now has 4 catches and a couple of bruises after this catch.
Right on target. Unfortunately, so were the tacklers. So now Meacham is being looked at by the training staff.
James Collins there, Chargers head trainer, taking a look at Meacham. Looked like he got drilled in the back. It was strong enough with those hands to convert the first down. Meacham takes the long, slow walk to the San Diego sideline. Sorensen with a quick start here, 2 for 2. We talked about how accurate he has been in the preseason and continuing that trend here to start his first drive of the night. He should see the entire second half at quarterback for San Diego. First and 10 from the 46. Rolfe in motion. Sorensen moving. Eyes down the field. Now he's got his tight end and he overthrows him. Good thought though. Dan Skuta was in coverage. But just a little bit too much on that ball for the 6'3" Rolfe.
It also looked like the 49er defender was getting way too close to Mr. Sorensen, and I'm not sure that he was able to see it because the tackler was coming from the blind side. But he got rid of the ball and pulled him up again. Not ready to get up to the line and take a shot.
And a veteran type of move for Sorensen to get out of the pocket but keep his eyes down the field looking for a potential receiver. That incompletion will bring up 2nd down and 10. Draw play to Whitaker. Whitaker gets hit at the line of scrimmage and drilled. Flag is down. 2 flags down. One by our referee, Mike Carey. He's going to signal holding to the 49er bench. Chad Brown, the umpire, he saw the same thing.
Offense number 60, 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
David Mock with the penalty. That was noticed by 2.
Nick Moody, the linebacker for the 49ers. Nice job just filling the hole, reading the play, and then getting up in there and making the hit on the running back.
Mock was holding on Luke Marquardt, the rookie out of Azusa Pacific. And the ball was coming right behind Mock. Easy call for both officials. That'll back the Chargers up 10 yards. 4 penalties tonight against the Chargers for 30 yards. San Francisco is yet to be flagged. Second and 20 for Sorensen. He fires and he's got his receiver. Another big hit. Richard Goodman hangs on as he gets bent in half by Tremaine Brock.
Richard Goodman, boy, I'm telling you, that was an amazing hit, but not one that you really expect the receivers just to bounce back up to his feet. Take a look. Right in the ribs.
Yeah, a little whiplash there after that 9-yard catch by Goodman, but he hung on.
He sure did, to his credit.
Bring up a 3rd and 11 now for Sorensen. Pressure, steps up. Keeps his eyes down the field, and he's got Goodman again. Did he make the catch? No. The officials come in and say the ball hit the ground. Not for lack of effort on both Sorensen's part and Goodman's part.
Craig Dahl on the cover. 4th and 11. The 45.
Just can't get the hands around the football. It bounces out of his lap and touches the ground.
Back receive for the 49ers.
So Cypress will punt and almost block. Nice high spiral. Chad Hall will let it go over his head into the end zone. And a touchback. Ball will come out to the 20-yard line. 11-10 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Niners leading by 11. Back for the opening drive for Colt McCoy here in the 2nd half with his Niners on top, 17-6. Colt McCoy, who was traded from the Cleveland Browns to the 49ers on April Fool's Day. Not sure how to take that, but April Fool's Day also happens to be the birthday of my granddaughter, Lily Ann Kruger. Hello, Lily. Grandpa Scary says hi. He calls me Grandpa Scary. I don't know why. 1st and 10 for McCoy. He's got his receiver out to the outside.
Grandpa
John
Scary.
Pump. Yeah. John.
Come on. What does it mean? Why does she call you Grandpa Scary?
Well, I don't know. I must have scared her one time really at a very early age. I kind of like it, though.
Yeah, it's tough. It's good.
That's John Baldwin with that catch. He was just traded to the 49ers. The Kansas City Chiefs. Jewel Hampton is the running back, right side. And he'll get out close to that 1st down. They'll give Hampton 4 yards on that carry. Hampton in that 1st half was the leading rusher for San Francisco. Averaging 4.3 yards per carry on 6 carries. Hampton and Shepler in the backfield. Here's Hampton. And Hampton disappears into a pile, and he will have just enough for the 1st down. Kwame gathers among Many Chargers there for the stop.
Go back to the blocker. First down, San Francisco. Gain of 2 yards.
Kwame is one of those guys, 335 pounds, you would think, would come in really handy in that kind of situation.
Tough to move out of the middle as that
It
nose tackle.
certainly is.
First and 10 for San Francisco at the 31. Two-step drop for McCoy, and he got the ball out to Baldwin again.
That's complete to John Baldwin.
Baldwin, who never worked out quite like they expected to in Kansas City. The 49ers swapped wide receivers. Jenkins going to Kansas City, who didn't work out in San Francisco for Jenkins. Now it looks like Harbaugh's trying to get Baldwin confidence in his new uniform.
As Greg Gatson makes the tackle over by the sideline.
Pick up a 6. McDonald in motion. Anthony Dixon with the carry, and he's got enough for a first down. As the 49ers keep the ball on the ground, Sean Cattouse with another tackle. Came into this game with 9 tackles as a safety. Replacing that man on the right, Eric Weddle. Weddle, the Chargers' leading tackler last year, and again, BR, that is not a good sign for a defense when the safety is your leading tackler. First and 10 for the Niners. Chargers looking like they're bringing blitz. Boyd changing the play perhaps. Fake to Dixon, quick pass to Baldwin, and Baldwin drops it. McCoy knew he had pressure coming, got rid of the ball before Baldwin was ready.
And really, Baldwin should have made this catch. I think Middleton gets a little bit too far down the field. Ball just bounces off the receiver's hands. Now, that was a catchable ball.
Yeah, it looked like Baldwin was fading away from that instead of coming back to the quarterback. Dixon left side, and he's hitting the backfield, bounces off tacklers, and the pursuit is going to swallow him all the way back inside the 40-yard line. They may give him forward progress out to the 41. Philip Dillard was the first tackler on the play for San Diego.
There's a whole host of defenders. Malls was there. I mean, they just kind of had to pile up and get that thing stopped.
Niners just 3 of 8 converting third downs this evening. This is third down and 12 from the 41. Flag down. McCoy steps up, throws behind his receiver Dixon. This may be illegal procedure against San Francisco. Perhaps not enough men on the line of scrimmage.
Formation. Offense, only 6 men on the line of scrimmage is declined. Fourth down.
That's the first penalty of the night against Harbaugh's 49ers.
And wouldn't you think that he would probably complain about that the most? Or anything that he's seen tonight?
Well, coaches always like to harp on something, don't
I'm
they?
telling you, especially penalties.
Yeah. So this fourth down punt by Andy Lee. Luke Tasker deep for the Chargers. And there's that knuckleball kick that Lee's been working on, and it goes out of bounds. 34-yard knuckleball punt by Andy Lee. Charger ball when we come back. 7:34 to go, third quarter. Dan Fouts and Billy Ray Smith with you from the Q. I want to thank our crew, Jason Bott, our producer, Tom Saturski, our director. Upstairs in the booth, we've got Renee Pettigrew, our stage manager, Chris Gritz, spotter, and Gary Pugh, our statsman. Thanks, guys and gals. Here's Sorensen. And he draws the 49ers off sides, and they better blow that whistle. And the quarterback's going to get killed.
Will Tukuafu jumping across the line, getting the penalty.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 48 jumped into the neutral zone, causing an immediate reaction by the offense. 5-yard penalty to still first down.
That's a good call, BR. Will Tupuafu, 6'4", 293 pounds. Defensive tackle and also has lined up in the backfield for Harbaugh as a fullback.
They give him that tricky number, see, to fool those linebackers on the other side. Then they see him in it. He's going 280, 290. He is a big man.
Harbaugh complaining that Chargers moved first, but that's not the way our officials saw it. So a free 5 yards for San Diego, moves it out to the 30-yard line for young Brad Sorensen. Michael Hill now the tailback, and he'll get the ball up the middle. Spinning, and he'll get stopped there. Nate Stupar with another stop. Michael Hill has averaged 2.3 yards per carry in the preseason. He's got a couple of passes.
And on that play, he's going to average between 0 and 2, and there just wasn't anywhere to go. He got up to the line of scrimmage, nothing but offensive line, the backside of the offensive line.
2nd and 4. From the gun, Sorensen looking left over the middle now. Trying to get the ball to Luke Tasker. Tasker's a tough target to throw to. At just 5'11", 190 pounds. That 5'11" may be generous. His daddy is not even anywhere close to 5'11". The great Buffalo Bills special team star. Luke, who comes from Cornell University. And to make an impression. Chargers go with 5 wide receivers now for Sorensen on 3rd and 4. Sorensen's going to run now. He dives, and he's going to be real close to the first down. Maybe just inches short.
All depends on where the knees touch the ground. That's where they'll spot the ball and take a measurement.
And to be 4th down, I think he had to get all the way to the line. And again, it's just inches, and Mike McCoy, much to the chagrin of the Charger faithful, sends out Mike Cyphers for another punt. Cyphers has had a busy night punting for San Diego. This will be his 5th punt. Andy Lee's had a few himself tonight. Chad Hall coming up, makes the grab. He gets his legs taken out. Adai with the stop after that Cypress punt. 39 yards, 8 yards on the return. Back at Qualcomm Stadium, the 49ers are bringing out a new quarterback. And he is B.J. Daniels, the rookie out of Southern Florida. And he is a dual threat at USF.
Thinking that offense, Dan, you're going to have to be a dual threat if you're going to start running this San Francisco attack.
Well, he's much in the mold of Colin Kaepernick.
There you go.
He threw for over 8,000 yards and rushed for over 2,000 for USF. He's too talented to put on the practice squad. They're afraid that if they do that, of course, you have to pass through waivers. And there's a few teams that have already expressed an interest in perhaps acquiring B.J. Daniels. Drew Hampton is his running back. And his first throw is a good one. Complete, fine, diving catch. Chuck Jacobs with the catch.
Chuck Jacobs made a great catch on that. Take a look at how he goes parallel and just snatches that ball right before it hits the ground. Oh, it's nice hands, Chuck Jacobs.
Yeah, rookie out of Utah State. Very impressive. He'll pick up 6 yards on that diving grab. Daniels in the shotgun. Straight back, steps up. Running for his life now. Cuts up the field with good quickness, dives across the 45-yard line, and that will be good enough for a first down for the Niners. You see the type of speed. He runs 4.5 40, maybe even better than that.
You begin to start understanding, why you would have him not just drop back and throw it, but also take off on a run every now and then.
It'll be interesting to see if the 49ers run some of the read option with him.
4th and 1.
So just shy of the first down. And Harbaugh has thrown the challenge flag. He did not like that mark. So he wants the officials to look at that, and I got to tell Jim, hey, it's preseason, 4th game, 4:18 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
The ruling on the field is the runner was short of the line of the game, being challenged by San Francisco. Timeout.
So Mike Carey will go under the hood to see if Jim Harbaugh is right or wrong with this challenge. We come back. 4:18 to go, 3rd quarter. Carey has seen all he wants to see. It's time now for you to make the call, presented by AT&T. Go ahead, BR, chime in on this one. It's a tough one.
Yeah, you know, I think, Dan, though, that when that knee hits the ground, that's where you have to spot the ball.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner was down and touched before the line to gain. San Francisco is charged with their first team timeout, 4th down.
That's exactly what I was going to say, by the way. Maybe not with the echo, but I was going to say that.
I'll try it with the echo. It sounds pretty good. This is the 6th punt for Andy Lee. And Luke Tasker will get another chance to make an impression with a return. Andy Lee, who's averaged in his career 45.9 yards per punt with a long of 82. That's why he's an all-pro.
82?
Yeah, with the win. This is a high, lazy spiral that Tasker lets go inside the 5, and it bounces on into the end zone. Charger ball at the 20-yard line when we come back. Niners on top, 17-6. Qualcomm Stadium, where Ladarius Green has had a very productive night. He had a good night the other night in Arizona as he gobbles in this 57-yard strike from Charlie Whitehurst. Now has 13 catches on the preseason.
Wow. That's what happens when you're as tall as Ladarius and as gifted as Ladarius. Quarterbacks understand that you're going to catch the football when they throw it to you.
Michael Hill with a good rush on first down. Well, he caught 5 in that first half. And in that first drive, he had 4 passes from Whitehurst. The Chargers went down and got a field goal. 6 yards on that Michael Hill run on first down. That is a healthy average for a tight end.
Yes.
Hill hit his line of scrimmage. It bounces away across the 30. First down yardage.
First down.
Like the 49ers brought the blitz off the corner.
They
And
did.
Hill stepped right through that tackle.
C.J. Spillman, as a matter of fact, comes off that corner. And Hill does a great job just recovering and keeping his feet and then taking it back the other way. Very nice run.
Broke the tackle of Nate Stupar as well. Picked up 7 with that effort. Will remain the tailback behind Sorensen, who goes under center. Fake to Hill over the middle, almost intercepted. It is intercepted. This is Dahl. Craig Dahl at the 25-yard line. Sorensen with the tackle there. And a couple of 49ers had a shot at that one. And welcome to the NFL, Brad Sorensen. You've thrown your first interception.
You know, it's one of those balls, too, Dan, that there was a chance that this ball was just going to fall harmlessly to the ground. Hand on it there, and then tips it directly to the teammate, Dahl. Credit to him for being that aware and being able to pick that ball off.
Now, Nate Stupar got that hand on it. Sorensen trying to force the ball between linebackers. So great field position again for the 49ers. B.J. Daniels, their quarterback, with his second opportunity. Gives to Hampton, left side. And Hampton is forced out of bounds. Jarrell Harris with the first play there to knock him out of bounds. first-year player out of Alabama.
Take all those Alabama players you can.
Well, all they do is win national championships.
That's right.
What a program that Nick Saban has running down there in Tuscaloosa. 2 yards on the gain for Hampton. Daniels, deep drop, under pressure, hit as he throws, and he throws out of bounds. Pressure by Brandon Moore, the rookie out of Texas that time, forced that incompletion.
And Big Brandon, you could tell, he was absolutely dedicated to the idea of grabbing that quarterback and slamming him to the ground. And Daniels just does a nice job of getting rid of the ball just in time because those big defensive linemen were after him.
Chargers have gotten pressure on the 49er quarterbacks tonight, but have yet to bring one down. No sacks for the Chargers against the 49er quarterbacks. Daniels looking left at Hampton, and it goes right by him. Hampton covered closely that time by Daniel Moles. And another good series for the San Diego defense. John Pagano's got to be thrilled about this after giving up the turnover.
There's young Dan Moles out of Toledo, the rookie. Did just enough to distract the receiver of that ball.
So Phil Dawson will try his second field goal attempt of the evening. This one from 40 yards. It's down, it's up, it's good. So the Brad Sorensen interception to Craig Dahl will turn into 3 points for San Francisco. And they increase their lead 20-6. Here's the first 8 games of the Chargers regular season. 5 of the 8, as is usual, are on the road. That means 5 of the final 8 will be here at the Cube. This is not an easy schedule by any stretch of the imagination. Is it ever, though?
No, well, yeah, but I mean, when you come out of the box, at least you're hosting Houston, then on the road to Philadelphia, then the Titans, and the Dallas Cowboys. Then you have to go up to the black hole, Dan.
I don't. You may.
Right.
But I will be in Tennessee. I'll be in Tennessee with my partner Ian Eagle and their CBS crew for the Chargers and Titans. Music City. Can't wait. Good defense by San Diego. That was a 4-play drive that netted just 2 yards. Phil Dawson coming out with a 40-yard field goal. And Richard Goodman is deep for San Diego. A lot of guys getting opportunities to return kicks tonight. Got a lot of punts and a lot of kickoffs. Michael Hill also deep with Goodman. But this is going to be Goodman. Got a flag on the field. 49ers were offsides. Goodman will dive across the 20-yard line. And we'll see if Mike McCoy elects to have the Niners kick this one again after the 21-yard return by Goodman.
I think they're going to send him back.
Well, this is another chance to evaluate his special teams.
Offside.
You're right, BR.
Kicking team number 56. 5-yard penalty, we kick from the 30.
And BR, if you ever ran out under a kickoff, and I'm sure you did once or twice in your career,
Yeah.
and a guy was offsides, what would you say to him when you got to the sidelines and you had to run under that kick for one more time?
I know. It's one of the cardinal sins. You just can't do that.
Is that what you would tell him? You said that's a cardinal sin, you can't do
Yes, that's exactly right.
Well, the special teams coach is not very happy about that turn of
He's
events.
asking them the same question you asked me? Or maybe a different question. Like, who do you want to play for next? Something like that.
Where do you want that bus ticket?
Where would you like us to send your stuff?
Travis Johnson was the guilty party, if you will.
And these guys are finely tuned athletes, but I got to tell you, if you could hear these guys breathing down there as they line up for another kick cover, they're. I mean, this is not exactly what they would like to do right now.
I don't think Richard Goodman's too thrilled about it either, because
think you're right.
this ball's teed up at the 30. He should get a chance to return this one. And he'll come out from about 2 yards deep. Head of steam across the 20 out to the 26, 27-yard line. Fine return for Richard Goodman. For those of you watching on CBS 8 in San Diego, tonight's episode of The Big Brother will air in its entirety immediately following tonight's game. That's the Big Brother coming up entirely after the ball game tonight. 1:43 to go here in the third quarter. 49ers have increased their lead to 14, 20-6. Brad Sorensen remains the Charger quarterback.
And coming from Utah State, I mean, can you just imagine how much he's loving this?
Well, after the interception, he throws behind his receiver. That's his big tight end there. It's Ben Cotton. Cotton, the rookie out of Nebraska, never had a shot at that. That ball just thrown too hard and too far behind the rookie.
Sorensen maybe a little excited there?
Well, he's trying to make amends for the poor decision that resulted in an interception.
Right.
Sorensen now 3 of 8 for 19 yards and that one pick. There he finds Cotton with a bullet over the middle for a couple. He'll get back 7 yards on the play.
49ers running a corner blitz, too. Don't necessarily see those in exhibition games very often.
Well, Sorensen did a good job. I don't even think the corner was picked up. He got rid of the ball so quickly. Negated the corner blitz. 6 yards on the gain to Cotton. Tasker in motion. That's offsides against the 49ers. Travis Johnson offsides. He was offsides on the kickoff. He was really offsides.
Illegal snap, number 60, 5-yard penalty.
Well, the reason he was offside, David Malk with a false snap. You talk about inexcusable. The center should know when the snap count is.
You would think.
Andrew Gatchkar is making his way to the locker room for San Diego. About a half a minute left to go here in the third quarter. Pressure on Sorensen. Stands in and delivers and throws behind his receiver Cotton again. And that third down attempt goes awry. That'll bring up a 4th down and 9 for San Diego.
Sorensen not nearly as impressive as he has been earlier in this exhibition season.
Well, Vic Fangio, the 49er defensive coordinator, is bringing a lot of pressure.
That's exactly right.
On the rookie, seeing how he can handle it. Blocked by the 49ers into the end zone. Staying in the end zone. Diving for the ball. Touchdown San Francisco. Cam Johnson with the block, the recovery, and the touchdown.
And at first he didn't know where the football was because it had bounced so far off of his hand. It's a great block, great play, and I mean he was able to find that football and go get it.
That's the second block punt of the preseason.
And it's sitting in the end zone right now. Johnson goes up, covers it.
Yeah, Jalil Adai overpowered by Cam Johnson. So I guess Cam Johnson redeemed himself. This is a troubling sign for San Diego when your all-pro punter, Mike Cyphers, is limping off the field. He took a heck of a fall after that block punt. Bill Dawson with the extra point. Chargers will take a look at Mike Cyphers on the sidelines. 20 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Just an overpowering effort from number 50 Cam Johnson, and there's really no other way to explain it. There wasn't a whole lot of trickery going on. He just pushed his way through Jalil Adai.
Cypress landed awkwardly after running into a die.
Yeah.
So a die with the exacta here allows the punt to be blocked and then inadvertently injures his own punter. And that will draw a note from the head coach. They're checking out Cypress's right leg, his punting leg. Chargers have a lot of time between now and the first regular season game, September 9th. And they may need it. The number of players tonight have been shaken up, although none of the starters have played a down.
August 25th, they cut Richard Kent, a punter, and so it's kind of one of those situations where you may give this guy a call, bring him in if Cyphers is in a state where he might need a week or two, maybe a month.
They're still tending to him on the sidelines as Dawson sends this kickoff to Richard Goodman. Goodman likes it on the left side across the 20, and another solid return. Anytime you can start your drive outside of the 20-yard line is a good thing. 27 yards on that return by Goodman. Joe Holland with the stop.
First and 10, the 25.
Talking to James Collins. And you can see that Nick Novak is taking a few snaps. He may be called on. I'm sure he will. I would not expose Cypress again this evening. Sorensen drills the 49er. Intercepted. Tremaine Brock with the pick, and that ball intended for Azira Tutu had no shot of being a completion.
Just like Brock just slipped in front of Azira Tutu.
Tremaine Brock with the interception.
And Shea did a nice job of coming back in, but didn't come far enough. And Cox was able to slip inside and pick that ball off. That was a really nice play by Paris Cox.
Tremaine Brock with the play. BR?
Brock, excuse me.
I know guys that make interceptions. I threw enough. But amazingly, not one of them was my fault. You believe that, right?
I believe that.
6 seconds to go here in the third quarter. B.J. Daniels will throw. Steps up, grab, and now the Chargers get him. First sack of the night for San Diego. Philip Dillard with the stop, and that will close the third quarter. 49ers 27, Chargers 6. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this. Today aboard the aircraft carrier USS Ronald Reagan at Naval Air Station North Island, Chargers had a walkthrough that was a noteworthy, rewarding experience for the ball club. After holding a light workout featured the team integrating sailors into the action, a little touch ball there. They took pictures, signed autographs. Spent a half hour mingling with the troops and their families aboard the aircraft. The experience was a continuation of a long-standing relationship between the Bolts and our military. Here's B.J. Daniels for Austin Collie, and ball knocked away at the last minute. Beautiful play down there for San Diego. Broken up. Looked like William Middleton has made a number of plays on special teams, running stride for stride with Collie. Get that left hand in there.
Great play on that. Just staying with it, sticking with it, and was able to, as soon as the eyes get big, you put that hand out there and get in the way and knock that ball down. Nice job, Mr. Middleton. Or William. On first name basis. Sorry.
You just like the name William, don't you?
Quite a bit.
And 13. And we got a false start. This is going to be an interesting one because both the 49ers and the Chargers moved early. That's Thomas
Neutral zone
Kaiser.
infraction on the defense, number 90. He jumped in the neutral zone, causing an immediate reaction. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Yeah, the immediate reaction was from Chuck Jacobs. After number 90 moves, the wide receiver moved.
And Thomas Kaiser needs to get to the quarterback. He knows that. He's one of those guys playing with that pressure. Make some plays, man. Make some plays. Impress the coach. Get a job.
Yeah, that makes this a more manageable 3rd and 8 now for San Francisco. Daniels cannot get out of the pocket. And he will get sacked. Second sack of the second half. Brandon Moore that time. That would be about a 1-yard loss.
He also had Tarek Williams approaching the quarterback from the left side, and they were just all over the place. Chargers did a nice job infiltrating the pocket, but just never could get a hand on the quarterback.
Dawson, who has converted on a 55 and a 50-yard field goal, pair of 55-yard field goals this year in the preseason. This from 52. And he misses it way, way right. That one never had a chance. 14-14 to go in the ball game. Niners on top. Charger ball at the 42-yard line after that missed 52-yard try by Phil Dawson. Mike Cyphers trying to give it a go into the net. He says, can't do it, coach. There's Fozzie Whitaker bouncing to the outside and being met right there.
Fozzie Whitaker.
Like first tackler there, Daryl Morris.
Pretty solid play by Daryl Morris. And he was coming off the edge of the defense. Didn't have to deal with the blocker, of course. Makes it a little bit easier. But that was a nice form tackle.
Out of Texas State. Where is Texas State?
State of Texas.
Phi Beta Kappa, huh?
There you go. At Arkansas.
Here's Whitaker. And Whitaker out to the 50-yard line. Stupar with the stop there. 6 yards on the gain for Whitaker.
When I watch him play, Fozzie Whitaker, he reminds me of those backs that we had, Dan, when we were with the Chargers. A guy like Little Train James, with same kind of gait, same kind of running style, and so far, and it looks like he's going to be a pretty good pro football player.
Little Train James, one of my favorite all-time teammates.
All time.
One of the greatest players in Charger history, and one of the greatest years ever as well. 1985. 3rd down and 2 for the Chargers. Here's Sorensen. He's got a receiver over the middle, and Jira Tutu makes the catch for the first down. The man they call Tutu.
Till Cam Johnson comes across and brings him down. But it shows you really, I mean, this wide receiver that makes this catch is there's a middle linebacker about to plant him, and that shows you how this man is dedicated to catch that football. Got to appreciate that.
1st and 10 into 49er territory. Michael Hill, and he will get stopped as he approaches the line of scrimmage. Stupar and Navarro Bowman. Not sure Navarro Bowman is going to be seeing any action, and check that 63 instead of 53. Tony Gerard Eddy with the stop there for San Francisco. No gain for Michael Hill. Draw play to Hill. Straight up the middle. I think that's one thing I've noticed more than anything on the running attack this season in the preseason, BR, is a lot of running by the Chargers right up the middle, between the guards, actually.
You know, I think that there's a thought behind that. I think when you're doing what Mike McCoy is doing with this offense, with Phillip Rivers, I think that kind of sets the defense up and makes them expect certain things. This is a nice example of just going by detail. The man is more detailed than a lot of coaches that I've been involved with.
Sorensen will throw this one away before he's buried. But you're right about the offense. It's what we like to call vanilla, very plain. offense. You don't want to show your upcoming opponents anything that you might be doing in the regular season. Good job by Sorensen getting away from the initial pressure there by Travis Johnson. They're practicing for the Houston Texans, as they have been for the last couple of weeks.
A lot of people don't understand that. When you tell them how that normally works, you basically go into training camp and you're looking at that opener. All the coaches, all the guys that are doing the game plan, they're looking at that opener because these 4 games don't count.
Yeah, that was a 4th down attempt by the Chargers. Incomplete. Joe Holland with the pressure on Sorensen. 49er ball when we come back, leading by 21. Back at Qualcomm Stadium, and no, that is not me or Billy Ray Smith in the end zone. I tell you what, hey, I got some blue and yellow paint. What do you think?
Only if you have a foam lightning bolt that I can put on my head.
You know what that guy looks like? He looks a lot like our pal Hank Bauer, doesn't he? In fact, I know Hank has paint like that.
And that looks a lot like the hammer.
Boy, it really does. 55,000 in attendance tonight at the Q. B.J. Daniels running for his life. Sets, throws, got a man, had 2 men in the area. Overthrew his first guy, Marquise Gray. It's a little die on the coverage there.
Nice job by the linebacker, number 49, Dan Moles. Time's just right.
This is really a rough time for both quarterbacks because there is no pass protection at all. Sorensen and Daniels running for their life every time they go back to pass. Anthony Dixon is the running back for B.J. Daniels. He's got a completion to the outside. Lavelle Hawkins with the catch, and he'll go out of bounds. Greg Gatson with the stop.
3rd and 2.
Hawkins, who played his college ball at the University of California, was released by Tennessee, now in his 6th year in the NFL.
The other part of that play, Gatson from the University of Arkansas, and his dad was a teammate of mine.
Suey Pig, yeah.
You Pig Suey.
Oh, it's Pig Suey? Okay, I'll get that right. He's got first down, loses his hat, loses the ball. And it looks like San Diego's saying they've got the ball, but the official's still discussing it. Great fake there.
Boy, that was fantastic.
Get Jarrell Harris off his feet. There's the big hit there, and it's a good hit by Gathers.
Yeah. Helmet comes off, and the ball comes out of his hand.
San Francisco, there is no fumble on the play.
Yeah, they're talking about the helmet coming off. Once the helmet comes off, the play is dead. Anything can happen after that, including a fumble, and the fumble will not count. The question I have, did the helmet come off at the same time or just after the fumble? Obviously, Mike Carey says it was after the fumble. So it's San Francisco ball, and B.J. Daniels got the first down. Ball on the San Diego 45-yard line. Daniels over the middle for Hawkins, and he catches it twice. Lavelle Hawkins with an athletic move, still on his feet. At the 20, he's going to go in. Touchdown, San Francisco. 45 yards for Lavelle Hawkins as he caught the deflection and made everybody in the San Diego secondary miss.
Unbelievable. And really a succession of athletics moves. Oh, that was a fantastic highlight. The ball bounces up in the air. Hawkins gets his hands on it, takes a shot, and doesn't go down. Jaleel Adai has a shot on him, doesn't go down, and is able to get to the end zone. Boy, that's a fantastic effort play.
He teamed with Deshaun Jackson at Cal to form quite a receiving duo. Jackson, of course, with the Philadelphia Eagles now, but you won't see a better play than Lavelle Hawkins just made as Phil Dawson adds another point for his San Francisco total. Check this out. 45 yards for Lavelle Hawkins. 4-play drive, took 56 yards in 1 minute, 10 seconds off the clock. Spectacular catch and run by Lavelle Hawkins from 45 yards out.
To be able to restart, to keep his feet, first of all, restart and then get going back to the end zone for the score was just unbelievable.
Got to wrap up in the secondary.
That's
Adai
right.
didn't do that, and he paid for it as Goodman comes out of the end zone. He won't barely get across the 15-yard line. The Chargers open up here on Monday night against the Texans, who were winners tonight in the Battle of Texas. The Eagles fell to the Jets. And Tennessee, 1-point losers to Minnesota. And the Chargers will have a lot to study after this one as Mike McCoy has to trim the roster from 75 down to 53 on Saturday. And the thing about all these plays we're seeing with special teams and everything, players are actually making some of his decisions easy.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
That's Michael Hill with a good gain. Lowers his head. And that's a point of emphasis tonight about in the league this year about lowering your head. But he was between the tackles there, but he didn't size up his the defender, or that would be illegal contact against Michael Hill.
He just ducks his head.
And actually took it on the shoulder there.
Yeah. But again, as Dan said, that was more a shoulder-to-shoulder hit.
And loud.
It was.
You think it's loud up here, you should be in that helmet of Michael Hill's. He's going to get another carry here on a draw play. And he shows good effort there. Getting forward for a couple. Michael Thomas with another stop from San Francisco. 8:40 to go in the ball game. 49ers have scored in every quarter. 7 in the first, 10 in the second, 10 in the third. And that Hawkins touchdown moments ago gives them a score here in the fourth quarter. It all adds up to 34. Chargers with a pair of Nick Novak field goals. Giratutu in motion. 2nd and 8. Here's Hill. And Hill keeping his legs driving. David Malk in there leading the way at center. And the Chargers have a man down. Looks like Johnny Troutman having trouble holding his arms. Troutman, the first-year player out of Penn State. Drafted in the 5th round last year by San Diego. And James Collins, look at his right elbow. And you fear some type of dislocation.
This is some kind of event that would affect the depth on the offensive line. Not a starter, but certainly a valuable piece of that offensive line. And to bring somebody else in to take his place, I would imagine that you would probably start in-house to find a replacement for him, but it doesn't look that serious.
Not to you.
Right.
But
You got me.
they're checking out that elbow pretty good.
Yeah.
And Troutman, obvious pain there. James Collins will talk to him and the rest of the Charger medical staff.
Okay.
Troutman will make his way to the sidelines. Just under 8 minutes to go in the final preseason game of 2013 for both these ball clubs. Every team in the NFL played tonight. 16 different games. All of them, as far as the score is concerned, meaningless, but very meaningful to guys that want to continue their NFL careers.
And you want to talk about, meaningless and meaningful. I mean, when you're in one of these games and you're injured, such as Troutman, I mean, who knows how much longer that's going to keep him on the sideline, if it's going to keep him on the sideline at all. There's a necessity for these games.
Yeah, but I can't wait for the NFL after the next collective bargaining agreement to figure out that 18 regular season, 2 preseason games may be the answer.
I think they had a look at that one and decided it wasn't to their liking.
Yeah, you know, it's not to the liking of the union until they get more benefits from it, and that may be coming. Oh, I remember the old days when we played 14 regular season games and 6 preseason.
Those were the days, Dan.
Talk about brutal. 3rd down and 5 for Brad Sorensen out of the gun. Quick pass to Michael Hill, can't make the grab. Wasn't going to pick up the first down anyway, as he was hit immediately by the linebacker there.
Broken up by Joe Holland.
Joe Holland with another stop for San Francisco.
Yeah, Sorensen just doesn't see the linebacker or doesn't care and just says, hey, catch this ball and get that first down.
Now here's a good sign, seeing Mike Cyphers in here to
Oh,
punt.
nice.
He must be feeling okay because he knows his body better than anybody. Let's see how effective he is here. Have a wobbly punt. That will back up Parrish Cox. Cox lets it go, picks it up now about the 14-yard line. And he's got the sideline out to across the 30-yard line. Fine return by Parrish Cox, and not a bad punt for Mike Cyphers. Give him 55 yards on that punt.
Mike Cyphers. Unbelievable.
He's still not feeling 100%, but 55 yards on the punt. Cox with a 17-yard return.
13 on the return.
There you go. Got a little jog now. That's good.
It still doesn't look good. I just don't know if I'd want to risk him. But 55 yards is 55 yards.
Get Novak out there to punt.
Well, let's see what B.J. Daniels has in mind for San Francisco. Quick throw here to Hawkins, and Hawkins is tackled this time, wrapped up by Adai. 49ers cut backup quarterback Seneca Wallace today. So that means that B.J. Daniels is going to make the 49ers team, as they will keep 3 quarterbacks. Colin Kaepernick, Colt McCoy, and Daniels, the rookie 7th-round pick out of the University of South Florida. Here he is on the read option. He's got a nice gain out to the 44, 45-yard line. Fake the ball to Dixon, and that's that read option play that he ran so well at USF. And that obviously Colin Kaepernick runs so well now for SF.
And so now they're developing a Colin Kaepernick to put behind Colin Kaepernick. So even if Colin Kaepernick is injured, you have a quarterback that can run this offense, and it's really brilliant the way they're putting this thing together, because it's driving defensive coordinators absolutely crazy.
Well, this will drive them crazy as well, as Daniels escapes the pocket and has a huge gain for San Francisco. That's the biggest gain on the ground tonight for the 49ers. This was not a design play. This was totally ad-lib. 41 yards of ad-lib for B.J. Daniels.
B.J. just pulls the ball down and takes off, and now it's just collecting blockers down the way and dodging defenders. He seems to do a pretty nice job of that.
Josh Johnson finally got him out of bounds, but Daniels rushed for over 2,000 yards in his career in college, threw for over 8,000 yards. Dixon with the carry, and he is drilled as he gets down to the 16-yard line. Clock continues to run, thank goodness. Dixon got 3. And he'll get it again, and he'll get a couple this time. Daniel Moles with the stop for San Diego. Rams beat the Ravens tonight, 24-21. Cardinals over the Broncos, 32-24. The Raiders beaten by the Seahawks in Seattle, 22-6. Daniels back in the shotgun. 3rd and 6. Throwing the fade. Caught. Touchdown. San Francisco. Chuck Jacobs with the catch.
you're not going to see that play executed any better than what you just saw by these guys that are trying to find a spot on the San Francisco 49ers. It was just a beautiful throw. The route was run perfectly. You just needed a little defender to put his hand up and knock that ball away.
Yeah, late with the hands were Marcus Cromartie there. Another beautiful pass by B.J. Daniels, his second touchdown pass of the fourth quarter. And Dawson is perfect again. 4:42 to go. Niners 41, Chargers 6. Richard Goodman's going to give it another shot at returning this kickoff from the 49ers. Phil Dawson receives the ball and puts it on the tee. Bad news for the Charger wide receiver Robert Meacham. He caught 4 passes for 23 yards, but his fourth catch resulted in a concussion. That is always a concern for any player. About 3 yards deep for Goodman. He lowers his head and punishes tacklers out to the 20-yard line. Take a look at the AFC West tonight. We talked about Seattle beating the Raiders. Kansas City with an impressive home win over the Pack.
How about those Cardinals?
Cardinals bouncing back after
My
the
goodness.
Chargers thumped them last week in the desert. But it all is for real. September 8th, there's a game on Thursday night as well. And of course the Chargers right here at the Q on Monday, September 9th against the Houston Texans. White hot night. Wear your white. Support your Chargers. That's Michael Hill with another carry. Michael Thomas with the stop. Been a rough outing for the young quarterback Brad Sorensen. Been picked off twice tonight. He's been hounded and harassed by that 49er pass rush. Just 5 completions out of 15 throws.
Considering, I mean, when he comes into the game with a 114 quarterback rating, and that's in the upper echelons, I guess it's an up and down kind of game with NFL quarterbacks. They will come after you, and they will change the way you're throwing the ball and the way that you're going to escape when you're pressured.
For those of you watching on CBS 8 in San Diego, tonight's episode of Big Brother will air in its entirety immediately following tonight's game. That's Big Brother right after the game.
In its entirety.
Right. Exactly. 3rd down and 5 now for Sorensen and the Chargers. And he's got a completion out there to Cotton. Cotton with the grab, and it's enough for a first down.
First down, Chargers.
That reminds me of an old teammate of mine, tight end by the name of Craig Cotton. He came to us from the Detroit Lions and had the misfortune of being cut by Tommy Prothro on Thanksgiving Day.
They cut Cotton?
They cut Cotton.
Oh, mercy.
And it was tall Cotton, and he was not too happy.
Any thought that maybe Ben Cotton might be related somehow?
I doubt it.
Okay.
Yeah. There's Michael Hill. He's met in the backfield and pushed way back. Nate Stupar has been a busy tackler for San Francisco tonight. 49ers have 2 of the best inside linebackers in Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis. Neither of them played tonight, so Stupar has made the most of his opportunities.
Finally got some time, and he's making the most of it.
He's had 6 tackles. He's been he assisted on 2 tackles. And this will bring us to the 2-minute warning. Thank goodness. 49ers 41, Chargers 6. We'll be back with more right after this. For the final 2 minutes of this 4th preseason game for San Diego and San Francisco. Brad Sorensen, the quarterback for the Chargers, at 2nd down and 12 from the Charger 29-yard line. Pressure again right up the middle. Sorensen with a good strike to the outside. He's got a Ajira Tutu for
Pass is complete.
about 11 yards.
Ajira Tutu.
Daryl Morris pushes him out of bounds, but I like the way Sorensen stood in the face of that pressure right up the middle and fired a strike to Tutu.
They bring in Travis Johnson, middle linebacker, and almost a free run at the quarterback. But you're right, Dan. I mean, Sorensen is showing the cool that you have to have out of your quarterback.
Clock stopped with Tutu going out of bounds. Michael Hill is the tailback. Fake to Hill. Sorensen to his tight end, knocked away nicely.
Pass is incomplete. Intended for
Ball intended for Cotton. And knocked away by Trenton Robinson. Got his right hand on that ball. Ball was on target, but a good play by Robinson.
2 yards to go. Mike Cyphers and Buck
So Mike Cyphers has shaken off that injury after the block punt that resulted in a touchdown for San Francisco. And he'll be back for his 2nd punt after that incident. It's a lazy tail dragging spiral. Parrish Cox with the catch. Running to the left side, trying to get to the wall, and he's not going to make it. Good coverage that time. Thomas Kaiser with the tackle.
And it looks like Cyphers is no worse the wear.
No, that's a 46-yard punt. That's to go along with that 55-yard punt. He may get called for delay of game getting off the field, though.
He's a punter.
He's got a little hitch in his giddy-up, as Dandy Don Meredith used to say. BR, it's been fun working with you again, buddy.
Always, Dan. Always.
Our crew, Jason Bott, our producer, Tom Saptursky, our director, Renee Pettigrew, stage manager. The guys keeping me straight here. Chris Gritz, our spotter, and Gary Q keeping the numbers. That was Jason Shepler. Their 6'2", 274-pound fullback out of Northern Illinois.
2nd and 5 from the 28.
He picks up 5 as we move close to 1 minute to go.
I don't know how long I would have played if fullbacks were 6'2", 275.
Victory formation.
A kneel down.
"11 days to opening day for San Diego, September 9th. Houston Texans and Mission Bay High School product Arian Foster will make their visit to the Qualcomm Stadium here. Chargers hoping for a white-hot Monday night. And every fan in attendance to wear their white. Chargers will be all in white and hopefully give the Texans a battle, but it won't be easy against one of the best teams in the AFC.
Looking forward to that game. Can't wait for Matt Schaub to bring his guys out here. Let's see how it goes.
So that'll do it on this edition of the 2013 preseason. Jim Harbaugh and the 49ers with an impressive 41-6 victory. For those of you watching on the Chargers Network, you'll be leaving us now to return to your local stations. Those of you on CBS 8 here in San Diego, our postgame coverage is just ahead. Once again, final score 49ers 41, Chargers 6.